nobody thinks like me. Maybe, they call it the 1%. 1% of 1% thinks like me. Nobody does. I've come to find out that I'm crazy, unique. I just want good things to happen to good people and to make a difference in people's lives and for them to give a shit, My name is Thomas Joseph Charles Whitman. I own Domino's Pizza franchise. I own Del Bono's Bakery, and I own Carmen's Deli. I was born an entrepreneur. I was an entrepreneur since I was 5 years old. I was cutting grass since I was 5 years old with my brothers. I would push the bottom bar on the lawnmowers. I was serving newspapers since I was 8 years old. Had my own paper routes. Always wanted to make money. Money was my driving force as a child. I decided on Domino's Pizza because I finished college. I went to Glassboro State, which is now Rowan University. Finished college, I worked at RCA in Morristown, and I was making like $20,000 a year back in the day, back in 1985. And I was going for my master's degree. They were paying for everything. And I had a plan, and it was sort of a boring plan. I was going to get a $2,000 raise every year for the rest of my life. And I thought that was sort of boring, and it wasn't going to take me anywhere fast. It wasn't going to hit my goals that I had set for myself anytime soon. I knew I had to own my own business if I was going to make any kind of real money in my life. So I decided, I read a book called What Color is Your Parachute? It's still available these days. And I guess the basis of the book was that if you want to achieve anything, do something you love and find your passion. My passion was pizza. What I loved was pizza, and own what you love. And Domino's Pizza is the second choice I found. The first choice I wanted was Pizza Hut, but I couldn't afford Pizza Hut. So it was like $250,000 at the time for the franchise. Domino's Pizza was, you can buy it, you can own it, and for like under $100,000, you can get your own franchise. So that's what I did. I owned Domino's for 25 years before I got Del Bono's, but I tried to buy Del Bono's 12 years ago. It was really hard to get this business. Mr. Del Bono was very, very stubborn about selling it to me. I was going to buy it with two partners initially, and he hesitated on selling it to the three of us, which turned out to be a blessing because 4 years later, he came to me and says, Tommy, I want to sell it to you alone. He didn't want to sell it to the three of us. He said it's a cash business, and three people owning a cash business is very difficult for three people, three different personalities getting along owning a cash business. I sold everything I had. I had a couple houses down the shore. I sold them, and I qualified for this place. I went to TD Bank, they turned me down. I went to Haddon Savings, our little local bank. 12 old white guys sitting around a table, and they said, yeah, we'll give you the money. And I worked 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. I was scared to shit, but I made it work. I was scared. I'm really, 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 really scared. But, the oven would break down. It was a piece of shit oven. Then I had to decide to put $2 more million in, and I had to get an SBA loan, and they make you sign over your whole freaking life, and they charge you tens of thousands of dollars in fees, which I felt like, oh my God, I can't stand it, because I have depression mentality, and literally I had to spend $100,000 in fees to get the money, for $1 million loan. So I did it anyway, against my better judgment, but it's the only way I could do it. So I got the money, I got the oven, and things finally turned around. My wife begrudgingly let me do this. She still does not approve of this business. First of all, she has celiac brew, which means she's allergic to everything in here. So she can't even come in here because there's flour in the air, and She's allergic to pretty much this place. Financially, it didn't make sense to her because it's way, way, way too much risk for a normal person to take. She knew when she married me 26 years ago that I'm not a normal dude anyway, but it's way too much risk for a person, a normal person. She still doesn't agree with this business. Even though it's very lucrative, even though I've proven time and time and time again throughout the past 5 years that it's a tremendous, tremendous move, brilliant move. She just is a nervous Nelly. But I give her all the credit in the world because she signed the papers to allow me to do all this, because without her, none of it's possible. Zero, none of it. That was it. She from Domino's Pizza store #1, I had 7 stores at one time, to all those stores, to all this, none of it's possible without her. So, everything is hers. Everything. None of it's possible without her. So I owe her everything. When I bought the bakery, I changed. First of all, I cleaned. This place was held together by duct tape. Mr. Del Bono was a tremendous man, is a tremendous man still, but he never put any investments into the infrastructure of the business. I am a firm believer in building from the inside out, the stuff that the customers don't see, in the machinery, the equipment, and the employees. I bought the Carmen's Deli because that was a great business, and it fits hand in hand. It's synergistic with this business, the bread business. I went and delivered rolls to them one day over in Belmar at their original store, which has been around for 50 years. And I said, why am I delivering so many rolls to you? He goes, that's how many hoagies we sell. And I said, dude, we already delivered you, 36 dozen today. He goes, I know, we were busy today. And it was like another, 15 dozen. I said, nobody sells that many hoagies. He said, yeah, we always do. And I said, when you're done with this, he was an older guy, Ronnie. And I said, what's your exit plan? Like that's my question to business owners. What's your exit plan? What are you going to do? He goes, I got 3 girls and one's going to be a lawyer, one's going to be a painter, and the other one doesn't want the business. I said, I do. I'm next, just let's put some numbers together. And he goes, okay, I'll think about it, So he went and talked to his wife, and then a week later he came back and says, I'm ready. And that was it. Just a small conversation like that put a bug in his ear and gave him the opportunity. And, because I'm an entrepreneur and it's a numbers game, and I care, and I know the numbers, and it just works. If you write your goals down at any time in your life, I did it when I was 18, and they're the same goals I have when I'm 55. The same goals. It's like DNA. Everybody has our DNA. If you write your goals down, matter of fact, I threw them away because they don't change. The model of your car you want might change, but it's still some big fancy car. Emotional, moral, ethical, religious, physical, all those goals throughout your whole life. If you write them down, they make your life stable, they make your life good, they define who you are. If you write them down, you put an imprint in your brain and you follow that imprint throughout your life. I'll never fail, I'll never quit. Maybe I'll fail. That's okay to fail. It's okay to fail. I'll never quit. I'll never quit. No quit wit.